Hi, I'm Rick Anthony, and welcome to the Someone You Should Know podcast, the podcast that focuses on musicians, authors, and interesting people. We like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. So sit back, have a cold one, and get ready to meet someone you should know. Well, happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. I have a real treat for you this time. A very interesting performer that's been entertaining crowds all over. She's a one-of-a-kind singer, songwriter, and musician that's received, get this, 8 platinum record awards and 6 gold record awards through the Airplay Express charts. She's Ma Bell, and we're going to speak to the brains behind Ma Bell, Kathy Bell. Kathy, welcome, hon. How are you?
Okay, thank you for having me on.
Kathy, I understand Ma Bell's a very busy lady. We hope to connect with her a little bit later in the show. I think she's doing TV right now, but we'll catch up with her just a little bit later. You fell in love with music at an early age. Can you tell us how you got inspired to sing and play the piano?
Yes, my grandfather was a pastor of the Sheridan Church of God for 52 years. Wow. So as a child, I was taught to play the piano in church. And I would sing the old hymns and stuff.
Right, yeah.
And so I actually started tagging along with my grandfather when he would go to nursing homes or hospitals, and I would play the piano for him.
That is nice. I love stories like that. And I'm sure your grandfather really and truly loves the way you turned out.
I'm sure he's smiling from up above.
I have a feeling he might be directing your career in some ways. He and the good Lord above are going, yeah, she's doing good. Let's keep her going here.
I sure would like that.
In your bio, it says your dream was to perform at the Grand Ole Opry stage starting a very young age. And then that all happened because you saw the Hee Haw show and the Opryland amusement park. That all contributed to your dream. How did you make your dream come to fruition?
Well, it's funny because all those years from sitting at that Opry stage, I was with my father and I was sitting there and I did enjoy the whole day. For those out there that don't remember the Opry when it was an amusement park, it was every kid's dream. You rode the rides and then you went to this great big hee-haw show at the end. And I remember sitting on a bench and telling my dad, one day, Dad, I want to be on that stage. And I was young. And so from then, it was like something I got disillusioned and I believed that I wasn't good enough. And so I took that road a while and I took care of everybody else. I babysat for my niece and babysat, but I was there for everybody else. And then I went through a whole lot of sickness. So to think about dreaming wasn't an option at that point. And once I came through the illness, it just went crazy because I had one friend, Rhonda Kersey, that really believed in me. And she kept calling me and saying, I think you need to be in this competition. I'm like, Rhonda, I can't win that. And she wouldn't let me go. So I went and I did a competition, karaoke. And I ended up placing. And then I started learning that part of my score was in costume. So I learned that being in costume, people are looking at ZZ Top or Lady Gaga or whoever I might be. And I became that person. I was Cher. I did a Cher and Sunny and Diana Ross. And I had more fun and I learned to have fun in music, but I also learned to object confidence. And then I learned that the more I could engage with my crowd, the more fun I had and the better I would place.
Very good.
So
very
I just had a ball. And then from then I wrote my first song and ended up going to the Nashville Songwriter. And I never will forget, I sang my first show at the Red Rooster. And I remember I'm here. And I remember everybody was having fun, but I took it serious and I was holding onto my stool. I couldn't hardly hold my legs. Like I finally made it to Nashville. And then I started making all these friends there. And I've been going there now for years. And I just keep making new friends and doing new shows. And, I think it's amazing.
I do too. Now, during that time frame when you were going through all the sickness, a song came out of it called Oh, What a Friend. Can you tell us the backstory on how that actually came out and helped in your healing process?
Yes, I have had I just had a last surgery, January 16th, so I've had 32 surgeries now.
Oh, good Lord, hon.
And I'm lucky to be here. I've gone through I had a blood clot to the lung. I've had a sepsis. I really shouldn't in all rights be talking here. I shouldn't be singing. Mm-hmm. But I feel like God's still got a purpose here. And he uses me all the time when I go out and tell my story. But to make a long story short, I went through several years of the bariatric. I call it the bariatric berries because I was more sick than I was well, and I was in the hospital more than I was out. And things got hard with money. I couldn't really get out and be with my friends. I was just kind of stuck here. And one day, it's hard for me to talk about, but now I am. I actually sat at the piano and was going to write my suicide note. I'm like, I'm done with this. And as I sat to write my note, I hit a few keys on the piano, and before you knew, I wrote, "Oh, what a friend."
Jeez, that's wonderful.
And, yeah, so it shifted my mind process to where, I had a plan. I had my pills. I was ready. I was going to check out, and I thank God that I'm still here. But that's my story, and it was music that saved my life because I went through a lot more of depression and stuff because of the illness. And now it's kind of like you go up to the mountain, and it's like I may go through a few things, but then I know on the other side I'm going to be doing music. And so writing and performing and entertaining, it's actually probably my medicine. When I get down, that's what brings me up.
Very good. It happens to help everybody as far as that goes. Nothing more healing than good music as far as that goes. It's a different type of medicine for sure. Let's feature that song right now. Oh, What a Friend from Kathy Bell right now on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
In my hour of weakness, you showed yourself to me. You held me close to you and revealed your love for me. Jesus, you were there when all my friends were gone. You helped me with my struggles, help me to carry on. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. He loves us no matter what we've done. He suffered and died to set men free. Our sins were bought and paid for on that tree of Calvary. Now as I look to Jesus, my trials come and go. They're not so overwhelming as onward I shall go. I know I can look to Jesus to help me make it through. The love and strength that He offers is here for me and you. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. He loves us no matter what we've done. He suffered and died to set men free. Our sins were bought and paid for on that tree of Calvary. Our sins were bought and paid for on that tree of Calvary.
That's Oh, What a Friend from today's podcast guest, Kathy Bell, the brains behind Ma Bell. And we're going to go ahead and feature some more music from Kathy and actually Ma Bell. I understand Ma Bell is in the room somewhere there, and we're going to try to get her to the microphone here in a few minutes. But that's coming up in a couple minutes. But before we do, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into the Someone You Should Know podcast. You can check it out on the World Wide Web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. There you're going to find our recent news, our archive of more than 170 episodes. and a whole lot more. If you happen to be visiting, please leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing, okay? Now, according to Buzzsprout, the service that shares us to all the different streaming platforms, gosh, we are so very blessed. Just got an update here, over 2,200 cities in 89 countries around the world. And we want to salute some from Kathy and Ma Bell's home state of Indiana. So let's name a couple here. Valparaiso, Portage, Hammond, LaPorte, Hobart, South Bend, Fort Wayne, Mishawaka, Kokomo, Muncie, Wabash, Peru, Fishers, Indianapolis, Evansville, Vincennes, Seymour, Bloomington, and French Lake. And that's just to name a few.
Wow.
The Someone You Should Know podcast, heard wherever quality streaming audio is available. Thanks for tuning in as we continue our interview with Kathy Bell. And coming up to the microphone, we have the wonderful Ma Bell. Ma, I know it's a busy Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so very much for taking the time to be with us. How you doing, Ma?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Very good. Now, it says here that you are a mix of fun and mischief with a little music and laughter all thrown in there. Does that pretty much describe you?
I think that's the best way to describe it. You put on music and costume, and the two just changes my whole persona. I totally become somebody else, and I'll watch videos and I'll go, did I do that? I didn't. Yes, you did.
Very good. Now, your motto says, never too old to dream, and when you reach that dream, dream bigger. What's your thoughts behind that? Could you explain that to our international audience?
Yeah, I think because going back that I got started later in life, I find that seems to be my motto. I haven't reached my dream of the Opry yet, although I have sang in the choir there, but I haven't reached my dream of being able to perform on that stage. But I think the thought behind that motto is that I just keep working towards it and you don't give up. And I think even at our age, as I get older, I see people older and just giving up. And I think that's where I came with that whole motto, because I'm like, you're not too old to dream. You always have something. And that's what I absolutely love about doing Ma Bell, because she doesn't let that old age thing get in her way. Like, I still have use, I still have purpose. I think there's just so much bad out there anymore that I just love that, that she encourages other people. I've gone and done shows where I've actually seen this lady that's had cancer, and they've heard me say, I'm never too old to dream.
Yes.
I'm still dreaming myself. And I've also noticed that I've encouraged younger people in my shows, because you're never too young to start working on your dream. I mean, heaven knows I wished I had started when I was at that younger age. Mm-hmm. I didn't. So I have to live each day with some purpose. And sometimes my life gets kind of hard. And
Understand. Now, Ma, a question for you here. Please take us back to when you and Kathy first met and took the stage.
Okay. I was out fishing.
I know you like to fish, Ma. What's the story behind the fishing?
Well, it's just my quiet time where I get alone, and I like nothing but a good challenge to bring in a big fish, as long as it's not a catfish, because I don't know how to take a catfish off. But anyway, I was fishing one day, and it was very hot. I was getting sunburned, and I didn't realize, because it was a good fishing day, and I kept going back to town and buying night crawlers. So I kind of started joking that whole I can't afford to go fishing. So I started writing this song called Fishing Blues, and it's kind of a funny little jingle about how I was going to start my own worm farm because night crawlers cost too much.
Well, that's pretty.
So we put the dress, the hat, and we come up with a costume just for pictures, and we never realized that Ma Bell was going to be born at that point. Then I ended up doing a fundraiser in Nashville at the Holder Fun Center. And since then, I've realized that I've done many costumes, but that one's kind of natural and just fun, and it's just who I am. And so Ma Bell stuck around longer than I ever thought she would.
Now, Ma, a question for you here. With 8 Platinum Awards and 6 Gold Awards through the Airplay Express chart, are you surprised on how well things have been received?
I think that I'm not only surprised, but I'm shocked. But I also realized that I need to stay humble. I know that my co-writers have been a big part of every single song. And so I have to mention my co-writers. And we talked, Bob McGilpin, he does all my producing. And he's been one of my strongest mentors. And I love to work with him because he doesn't let me take the easy way out.
Good.
But I'm writing with Roy August stuff. But yeah, I think the thing on those is I actually am shocked that I have become a platinum hit writer, because a lot of people dream of that and will never see it. And I try to encourage people too when they're like, "I'll never have one." Yes, you will. You just gotta find that right one.
Well, dream big,
Yeah, dream.
And then when it goes gold, dream it goes platinum. There you go.
And then double platinum, and then
The next song we're going to feature is "We're Taking It Back." Ma Bell, can you explain the backstory on "We're Taking It Back"?
And that's a hilarious thing. I was in my car, and they were talking about taking Social Security away. And I said, we need to take it back. So I got with Bob, and we come up with that little jingle, and I just love it. And I love to perform it as Ma Bell. Anything that's, and you do feel like that. I think there's so much bad in our world right now that's just something fun to say, hey, we the people need to take it back. But it's feisty. And it actually kind of portrays Ma Bell in her element, because she's feisty. Like you talk to me and I'm kind of laid back. But if you ever talk to her, she becomes something different as soon as she puts the hat and the wig on.
Well, very good. We're going to feature that song right now. We're taking it back. Ma Bell right now on the Someone You Should Know podcast.
We the people are tired of all of the lies. Our money is low and inflation is high. This ain't the proud place that we used to know. Where in the heck did our country go? Well, we're taking it back.
Taking it back.
Oh, we're taking it back.
Taking it back.
The land of the free is under attack. We're taking it back. Uncle Sam is spending more than he needs. Well, he better watch out not to tread on me. When the tax man comes knocking on my door, we've given all we'll give, and he can't take no more. Well, we're taking it back.
Taking it back.
Yeah, we're taking it back.
Taking it back.
The land of the free is under attack. We're taking it back. Politicians, they say that they work for us. They don't keep their word, and they've broken our trust. They want to take our guns and our God-given rights. Did they think we'd let go without putting up a fight? We're taking it back.
Taking it back.
Yeah, we're taking it back.
Taking it back.
The land of the free is under attack. We're taking it back. We're taking it back.
We're taking it back. That's according to Ma Bell right here on the Someone You Should Know podcast. She's our guest for this Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend, of course, honors our fallen veterans. And you, Ma Bell, have a real special thing in your show that you do to honor veterans. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why veterans hold such significance to you?
I do several things. I like to acknowledge my veterans, and I like to, it isn't my veterans, okay, it's our
Our
veterans.
veterans, yeah, absolutely, our
Yes.
veterans, yeah.
I like to do the national anthem and honor them for their service, whether they're Army, Navy, or um,
Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Command, whatever it's called now.
I think I have DJ'd a lot of the legions and stuff, and I just have a real heart for them and their service. I have to slow down and talk to them very seriously about them very seriously. I don't think enough people actually honor them the way they deserve to
No,
be honored.
absolutely not. Yes,
And
when we've got veterans as homeless people. That's just not right. In our
It's
country,
not right.
they did their part for the country. How about the country helping doing their part for us veterans as far as that goes? I speak highly for our veterans. I try to do everything I can for our veterans because I did 20 years in the Air Force. I'm retired Air Force, so I really and truly love our veterans. And anytime we have a guest on the show that promotes veterans or is a veteran, we always try to give them a little extra love as far as that goes. Now, your live performances include a mix of comedy, laughter, sometimes mischievousness. How do you balance all the elements and still keep it a clean family show?
I think that's just kind of normal for me. It just kind of flows. And like I said, a lot of times I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I know I don't like to have fun with just myself. I like to have fun with the audience there and bring them up and interact with them. Like I try to do a mix of music because I like to put covers in with my originals because why? People will know them and they'll sing along.
Right, yes.
Or might sing y'all come, but I'll have them come up and help me get the crowd to sing along to, like I might get 2 volunteers. And I really think that my show is more about my audience than me, really. Because I want them to have fun. And if the more fun they have, the more fun I have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You feed off of your audience, and that's just any comedian or any performer gets that. If it's a flat audience, then it's going to be kind of a flat performance. But if they're really into it, boy, I'll tell you one thing, it really elevates the jock or the person. I used to know that on the radio as far as that goes. When I knew my phones were buzzing and I knew people were out there listening, boy, I was really on my A game. Now, I was always on my A game, but I always stepped it up just a little level when I knew there was a good audience out there. Now, this next section is one of my favorites. It's called Tales from the Road. These are these infamous road stories where things just didn't go quite as planned. Now, you've been at this for quite a long time. Ma Bell also. So you can either answer with Ma or yourself there, Kathy. What would you say yours and Ma Bell's Tales from the Road might be?
Well, one of my favorite memories is when I was first starting out and I went down to Tennessee and I wasn't doing Ma Bell then. I was doing Kathy Bell and I was doing different things. Like I actually dressed in a big red solo cup and did red solo cup. And then I dressed as ZZ Top, and I never will forget that. That was the first really performance I had done, and there was no place for me to change, and it was so cold. And I never will forget my friend Ruth saying, she held the door open and let me change. Get into this big barrel. It was a trash barrel. She's like, if you're going to do this, you got to learn to adapt. I never will forget that. That was Ruth Brown, and I was debating if I wanted to keep doing that because that was a pretty hard thing to do out in the cold, and it was bitter cold. And
so you were actually outside, or what?
We were outside, yeah, and they had a great big bonfire, but it was like 50 feet away from me, and trying to change different costumes. Like I went from the red solo cup to ZZ Top. I was changing. I did 3 outfits that night, and it was just hard. And she's like, buckle up, Buttercup. If you're going to be doing this sometimes, and if you want to do this, you're going to learn to adapt. Well, thank goodness, because there's been several of those kind of things happen every now and then, and you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I
could have combined the two and made actually dressed up as ZZ Top in the cup and said, "I'm sharp dressed cup."
That's what we should have done, yeah.
Well, very good. Thanks for your tales from the road. It's funny. Let's talk about your social media, where people can find out information, and especially what's going on late spring and summer of 2024. Let us know what Ma's got planned.
Some of my biggest shows are going to be in August. I'm going to be up at Marion, Indiana, which I know you know where that's
exactly.
at.
I sure do, yeah.
That is a gospel convention, and there'll be several gospel artists there. And it's the Godspeed thing. I'll have to send you a ticket.
Oh, well, what do you think, darling? That would be very, very nice.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be at Loretta Lynn's ranch at the end of August. I like doing that. So that's just kind of precious. She's somebody I really looked up to, and I didn't get to meet her, but I sure love being on her stage. So
that's very good. Well, what would be some good social media links? Where will we find you best?
I use Facebook most, although I'm getting to be where I'm getting more sociable. I'm on YouTube now. I have my own Ma Bell. You can always tell who I am by the fishing hat. But I'm on TikTok. I did my first TikToks. And I'm on Instagram. I haven't really started working with that a lot, but mainly YouTube. My main go-to is Facebook.
Facebook, okay, very good. What we'll do is we'll include all those links in the show notes. So if you want to find a little bit more, especially the videos, we'll include the link to her YouTube channel so you can check out all her videos dressed as Ma Bell. I was kind of saying, Ma Bell, did people confuse you as far as the telephone lady?
No. And they were hoping I'd include some of that in my acting. I may one day, but I'm scared that I need to get permission probably to do something that.
If anything, go to Verizon and say, listen, maybe I can get a discount if I call it Verizon Ma Bell or something. Work on some type of collaborated effort right there. We're going to close the show with another Ma Bell classic, America, She's Crying. What's the story on America, She's Crying?
That's funny. That song took me a while. I started writing it before the last election, like maybe 2 years before that. And it was troubling me in my mind about kids being trafficked and stuff. Well, I just kind of put the lyrics aside. And then when COVID came, I got COVID.
Oh, seriously?
And I came across those lyrics and I'm like, well, there's a little bit of different meaning to this now. So I rewrote it, and then Bob helped me put the music, and he tweaked it a little, and I just am in love with that song.
All right, very good. America, She's Crying is when we'll wrap up the show with. We've been speaking with Kathy Bell and the lovely Ma Bell this Memorial Day weekend. I thank you so very much for tuning in. Kathy, thanks so much. And tell Mom, I know Ma just left the building there, but please tell her I said hello. And thank you so much for being a part of the Someone You Should Know podcast and our ever-growing family of guests.
Thank you for having me, Rick.
What's happened to America? She used to be so strong. The things she now is seeing, they are so very wrong. Her people need to stand together and put up a fight. Her morals and her constitution have been compromised. America's seeing many things she thought she'd never see. Now she is wondering who will her next leader be. Will they be corrupt or will they keep our country free? Only time will tell, we'll just have to wait and see. America, she's crying. She's crying. Keep standing tall, let's give it all we got. America, she's crying. She's crying. Let's take our country back, 'cause we the people are the boss. It's time for us as a nation to finally say enough is enough. America, she's crying. She's crying. Has some backbone, stand together even when the times get tough. America is wondering what will happen next. Can she survive the hard times as she faces many tests? It's time now as a nation we take some time today. Believe in God we trust as we bow our heads and tough. It's only with God's help we can turn this around. If we follow Him, He'll put us back on solid ground. God will one day show us we have nothing to fear. If we put our faith in Him, He'll dry every tear. America, she's crying. She's crying. 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 Oh, stop your crying.
Hi, this is Rick Anthony, thanking you again for listening to this episode of Someone You Should Know. Now, if you're an aspiring musician or an established musician that's looking for a little exposure, I invite you to drop us a line at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. That's someoneyoushouldknowpodcast@gmail.com. Also, I invite you to tell a friend about the Someone You Should Know podcast. I thank you for tuning in this time, and I invite you to check us out next time on the Someone You Should Know podcast, because you never know who's going to show up. Until next time, remember, God loves you, and so do I.